And here he is. Fantastic. Hey. Andrew's Quattro Velo, looking resplendent in the sunshine, and he's really happy with it. So compared to the your DF ride-wise comparisons?
Ride-wise comparisons, the DF is more, as they say, it's more sporty.
Yeah. Do you notice the difference pulling away from the lights and?
Yeah. I mean, you notice it.
Getting up to speed.
You notice it getting up to speed.
Yeah.
It moves a little more at the front.
The Quattro.
No, the DF.
Okay.
In terms of the
twitchiness. Yeah.
And the left and right.
Uh-huh.
Front wheels, and you could, because it has the rear wheel instead of two rear wheels, so you get that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite as steady, but it feels a bit more agile and responsive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On the DF, and you just get up there and you feel like you're going faster.
Yeah.
But in reality,
there's not much
I'm not
difference.
going, because I've had e-assist on both.
Okay.
I fitted it on the DF when I had a trailer on the back.
Mm-hmm.
DF, and when I didn't have a trailer, the average speeds are pretty similar.
Yeah.
It uses a bit more energy on the battery, of course.
This is so much better for what you're doing.
Cruising, because that's when I don't use the battery. When you're cruising over 16, 17 miles an hour, it's relatively similar. It's maybe a mile or 2 mile an hour difference.
Yeah.
Probably about 10%.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like you can pedal harder without it moving so much.
Okay. And so if you had the DF and the Quattro Velo both operational at the same time, what do you think you would use more? Which one do you think you would use more?
Well, it depends on what you're using it for. So
yeah.
I'm using it as a car replacement.
Okay.
And so I would
it's more practical.
I wouldn't even think about using the DF.
Yeah.
For everyday velomobile, because it's just so much. I can just lift it up,
just chuck everything,
chuck stuff in, chuck my rucksack whole. Before with the DF, obviously I had to lift up the seat and then push it to the side, and then it'd be the same sort of hauling it out again when I arrive at my destination. So that's the main reason, it's practicality. And just the stability, and also I know you can create pockets, but having the side pockets where you can just put. So I've got different lenses for my phone, so I can put them in a little phone. It's actually in a little glasses case. I put them in there, and then I can put my tools in that cubby, and then they're there.
Yeah.
And then I didn't do all that with the DF because I didn't get round to it, but there's far less space.
Yeah, I just think it's just more it's a lot more practical, isn't it?
But that said, if I was just taking something out for a ride, then I'd choose the DF.
Okay, yeah.
Because still is. It's a bit more exciting, but
it is something else to ride, isn't it? I mean, I couldn't believe the difference between the WOW and the DF when I rode the DF in Dronten. And I rode the WOW from London to Dronten, and then I jumped in the DF and was like, oh my god, it's like chalk and cheese.
Yeah. because you just feel all your power is going.
Yeah, the drivetrain is just so stiff. I suppose this has quite.
Yeah, I mean, actually, in effect, if this was as light as the DF, then it would be, or even not even quite as light as the DF, maybe another 7 or 8 kilos without the assist. Yeah. Then it would be pretty similar, but it wouldn't quite be as reactive, A, because you've got a wider surface frontal area,
of course,
and B, because you've got the 4 wheels, it just feels a bit more secure. So it's
cornering,
and the cornering on this is
something you don't have to.
It was the best when I tested them all. When I recently tested them, out of the Strada and the Quest, the DF I felt the most secure, but with this, I don't have any issues.
You never have to think about it.
And then, because if I'm coming up into Harpen, I come and you take a roundabout left, and then you quickly take a turning almost like a 90-degree right, and you don't move. Yeah. So that's, remember when I first took a test drive in the QV, and I was flicking it left and right viciously and violently, and then I just got a wheel up on the left
with a lot of effort,
and I was pedaling fast and I was moving, and with a lot of effort. And but with the DF or any of the other 3-wheelers, you would have been. You don't need much effort.
No, you would have been. Viewing the world from a different angle.
But if you're just going with, it's really stable. If you're not trying to, if you're not trying to tip it over. But with this, you can try hard, and it's hard. So
it's fantastic.
So
but, beautiful machine.
Tongsheng TSDZ2.
And that runs on the.
It's quite small. It's smaller than a Bafang, and it just runs off cranks.
Okay.
So it's just got one chain ring on there at the moment. And
is that sufficient gearing for?
Yeah. I mean, I could actually change the sprocket, because you change the sprockets in the Rolhoff in the middle. Yeah. And I could actually, I don't spin out with this.
Okay. So you've got like 14 gears.
I've got 14, and I'm hitting just down the hill coming into Harpenden. I was hitting 38, and I was in about 11th gear, I think, 38 miles an hour. Yeah. So I could, because if I didn't have the assist and the pad, then it would be quite hard on steeper hills. So I could actually change the sprocket in the mid drive. So for this, all you do to access it, you take these straps. That's in the way. Move that up there. And then just move it back. Sometimes I put this here just in case I need to
hook it over.
so if it slips down, but I tightened it up so
you've got the battery here.
So I've got the battery in there, and that just slots out and I can get it out.
That's pretty cool.
Squeeze in there.
The finish is amazing.
And then the Rolhoff inside there.
Interesting.
Should take that tape off. It's not very smart.
So is that a standard little cubby?
So that's what this is the first one. This is what they're building now in all the Rolhoff equipped Quattro Velos.
And how's the Rolhoff been? Is running fine?
The Rolhoff itself runs really smoothly, but it's the other things like the chain tensioner which I'm having issues with. And there's some kind of chain rattle which I can't seem to get rid of. It's a bit difficult. You look right inside there, you can see it. It's in the chain tunnel, and this sort of tapping sound. But the other thing is, of course, it flips. It flips over.
So it could be just knocking on something, couldn't it?
I think the chain could be knocking on something.
Yeah, looks like it, maybe.
But I think it could be knocking on that axle which supports the chain tensioner. But if so, then it's more of an issue, and it's whether or not I change where the axle is, and then hopefully it won't flip over under high torque, or I do what Deneth did and fit a Rohloff tensioner just underneath. There's a tab you can secure as you would do a rear derailleur, and then attach it to there, because he's had no problems with his for keeping the chain tension.
It's beautiful.
We've got the watt meter in there. I'm not sure it's on now, but
I haven't seen one like that before.
I think I have to turn it on and turn it off again for it to be on. There's nothing on the screen. We had that tyre pressure.
Oh, you've got the sensor.
So I've got the tyre pressure sensor.
That's up here. see if we can
So
get that
that's
in.
there,
That's
yeah.
quite interesting.
And obviously the USB comes standard.
And they're all on front left 85, I think.
Yeah, so the left needs to be slightly more, I think, for some reason. But it changes according to if it's left out the sun.
Yes, I was going to say with the heat on the road, you know.
The heat on the road and the sun will increase the
rims.
I added them when I came back because I.
But biohazard.
And they're the same. It's exactly the same colour as the ones higher up.
So have you found it a problem, pumping the tyres up? To get into the valve, do you have to tip it on its side to pump?
It's easier if you tip it on its side, yeah.
Oh.
And of course I fitted the alarm. And what I did, so it's easy. I just put the key fob just there, where the shoulder pads are, and then it's easy to take in and out when I leave.
Brilliant!
We leave the QV.
It's tiny as well. The fob.
Yeah, really small.
Yeah.
And it should be operational now. I can give it a quick
blitz.
So if we. The way the colours change.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, you've got one, 3 on. That's the whole triangle at the top on. And do you have them running all the time?
No, well, in this weather. In this weather, no.
Yeah, I always have them on. In London,
but theoretically,
it's quite bright.
Theoretically, it's pretty bright. Actually, what I'll do, take another. I've got another one, but it doesn't have the fuel lock on. So this is a Bontrager Flare RT, and so it has. If I turn it off, it has a remote control. So if I forget to turn it on, then I've fitted it onto the tiller, just down here, so I can press it on and off. And these are the buttons for the e-assist, so that goes through the different modes. And this is actually a throttle, but I don't need it. I added a throttle so that I can test the transmission, so I don't have to lean the pedals. So that's really useful for the transmission checking. And so this is for the rear hydraulics, hydraulic disc brakes.
Oh, you got the disc brakes on there.
Yeah, the disc brakes are just
for hurtling down big hills.
Just hurtling down big hills. Yeah. Not too many mountains around here, but they're pretty steep hills. So yeah.
So
I got the Spire ones instead of the ones that came with, because I'd read some good things and some other.
And have you had any issues with these? Or
Velonauts had suggested them. No issues at all.
No rubbing or.
No rubbing at all. And no issues with the cables. But one chap has actually, one chap on the Bent Rider online forums, he's just taken this out and he's just put one cable, which then he's put 2 cables. This has one cable which goes all the way, and this is a splitter. So there's one cable and then it splits into the 2 disc brakes. He's actually now put 2 brake cables coming out from the front to each one, and it means that he's changed the brake brake paddle, and it locks off, so you can lock off both the rear brakes and the front tube.
I love this.
And a few people, of course, have fitted another one, but they've had to change this. They've had to.
Is it needed?
Some people don't think it's strong enough, so they've added another one. They've either added 2 slightly smaller ones, or they've added the same one. Deneth, I think, added.
I'll never get over the size of the boot. It's cavernous, isn't it?
But it's I mean, it's the fact that there's that sleeping mat in there, and then you can. So much easier if you want to go on a camping trip. Putting in, it doesn't. You put all of that in there, and you still can have a child. Amazing. It doesn't get in the way at all.
Yeah. The cubby holes are really good.
And the cubby holes are fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, so Andrew is now installing the kiddie seat in the back of the Quattro Velo, because I'm thinking in the future, if I do purchase one, I'd like to see what Theo thinks of it. So we've just popped the seat in, which is a really quick job. A couple of bolts off.
Oh, a couple of nuts.
A couple of nuts off, yeah. And
the bolts stay in.
The bolts stay in, yeah. A couple of nuts off. And there's an adjustment.
Just for a test.
Yeah. It looks quite comfy. If the child's got long legs, your battery may be in the way.
Well, no, the battery wouldn't be in the way so much because the legs would go
just over the top.
On the side, and you can move the shoulder pad if you needed to. And they would be more in this side because you've got the seat here. So the battery isn't so much in the way because the legs have to go over there.
To the side. Can we put the cars down and then you can go inside? Give the cars to Andrew.
Oh, thank you.
And then Mummy lift you in.
Keep them safe.
Oh, look. You want to sit on the chair?
Yep.
You have to lift your feet up. Okay, put your feet in there. Watch your head on the lid. That's it. Are you in? Ooh, can you fit? How far down does he go? He's too small.
Oh, maybe it's for bigger kids.
Let's see if this will work.
That's not in the way, is it? Let's see. That's it. Slide down.
Papa.
Is that better? It's still gonna...
Yeah.
Well, it's still like... Not bad. Close the lid, Theo. Should we close the roof? Yeah? Okay, bye-bye. Are you in there? Where's Theo? Hello? You want to come out?
Very good.
Yeah.
Good boy.
You know.